Hi, good morning. I've read your book and I have a few questions to ask. Could you please introduce yourself?
Good morning. My name is Roger Ball, and along with my friend Heidi Overhill, I've written a book called Design Direct, which is a book about how designers can create their own micro brands.
Okay, what is Design Direct about?
Design Direct is about the idea that a designer can create, create, and sell their ideas directly to the customer. This wasn't always possible in the past, but there's a lot of exciting things that have happened lately that allow designers to work directly with their audience. It goes under a lot of different names. You know, some people call it the maker movement. Other people call it indie design. I've heard the term lean startup. So there's a lot of different ways that people are talking about it, but a lot of people are understanding the possibility and the potential here. It's a very exciting time to be a creative person and with an idea. I think Design Direct in my book is, perhaps the first look at how this all comes together and wraps up from a lot of different perspectives how exactly this works.
What do you need to start a Design Direct micro brand?
I think that apart from the obvious thing to start a micro brand, you need a great idea and a very strong understanding of who you want to offer this to in terms of which audience you're trying to reach with your product or service. Those are pretty obvious things, but I think the more important thing is that as a designer and a creative person, you need to reset your idea and your approach about what you can do. I think that designers are trained and educated to work for other people. So they think, which company will I work for? And which organization do I want to be a part of? I think an important thing in Design Direct is that you change that question and you don't ask, which company do I want to work for? But you ask, which great new brand do I want to create? What great new thing do I want to begin? You know, a lot of other fields think in startup, think about right from the beginning of starting and creating their own businesses. And I think as designers, it's time to move on from that old idea that we need a client or we need a company in order for us to get our ideas out into the marketplace. Now in the 21st century, with all of these tools and opportunities that exist, that there's absolutely no reason that a designer cannot create their own micro brand and go directly to that customer. I think this is a brand new career option for designers.
How much money do you need to start a Design Direct micro brand?
That's the great thing about Design Direct. In the old model in the 20th century, if you wanted to get a product to market, it cost a lot of money. You had to mortgage your house, you had to go to the bank and get big loans, or you had to work with investment bankers who took most of your company. Today, you can start a brand with very small amount of money. You know, here in Hong Kong, we've seen designers start a watch brand with 50 pieces. They CNC the cases, 50 cases. They use existing movements, and they use off-the-shelf straps and put this kind of collage manufacturing together. We've seen people start a brand with, less than $1,000 and put it online and become very successful with it. So you can do it for a very small amount of money without the need for outside investors. And then of course the other development that's happened in the last few years is this idea of the pre-order brand, where you create an idea and you post it on a website like Kickstarter, and you ask people to fund the idea before you spend a penny. If you're successful, you get the money from them and you start your production and you don't have to put up any money at all. We're also seeing that in China with the Taobao online site too, where designers are doing pre-orders. So you have to Once they have people who've committed to 50 pieces, then they go into production with it. So the amount of money that you need can be anywhere from a few $1,000s to zero. Again, that's part of the creativity. How are you going to set up your business?
This sounds easy. How did you find out about this idea of Design Direct?
Well, I think my entire life has been leading me to this idea of Design Direct. I've worked in design as a student, first as a student, as a staff designer working for a company, then with my own product design studio for many years, as an educator, as somebody who started and created my own brands. So all of these experiences have led me to understand that the nature of this business has changed, and that there's opportunities now in the 21st century that just never existed before for designers. And I've tried to start my own brands, and I've tried to do all of these things in the past, but was frustrated by the way that the old business model was set up. You just couldn't, a designer with a good idea for a single product just could not participate in the old business model of retail stores and distribution and high tooling costs and all of those kind of things. There was so many barriers for you to be able to actually start your own brand. I think Design Direct is something fundamentally new. You can create the entire brand and company yourself. The barriers to doing that have evaporated. They've disappeared. It's a very recent thing. It's only happened in the last few years, but it's here, and people are doing it all around the world. People are doing it with all sorts of great new ideas, and I think it's a really important opportunity for designers, and something that never existed before.